So do you feel like you've made every mistake in the book and maybe had not planned far enough ahead for retirement? Well, so did we. And yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit and maybe hopefully give you some inspiration. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Soni.
And welcome to our channel. What is our channel?
Our Groovy Adventure.
Oh, that's right. Our Groovy Adventure. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about sort of how we got here and
our rocky road to retirement.
our rocky road to retirement, as it were.
Very rocky.
So yeah, I guess we'll dive right in.
Yeah.
So kind of started thinking about it in our late 40s, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty late, but we were in our 40s. We lived month to month. We didn't do a budget. We, I don't know,
No, we were living the American dream, baby.
We were. I'd gotten out of pharmacy school, 10 years before, and started making what we thought was a lot of money, and so we could afford anything, right? As long as you could make the monthly payment.
Right, yeah. And
so we did. We bought the latest and greatest of everything.
Mostly on credit.
Mostly on credit.
Like I said, the American dream. Yeah, so we turned out we were kind of doing the house flipping thing.
Yeah, we didn't know that we were doing that.
Didn't realize it.
No.
We bought our first house in our 20s.
Yes.
And sold it just a few years later for like twice as much as we paid for it. And our next house, we stayed in it for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And then sold it for twice what we paid for it. So we thought, well, this is great.
This must be how it works.
Yeah. So then in what I think it was like 2005,
yeah,
we bought another house, thinking, well, we'll do the same thing.
That was the house that we bought the adjustable arm on.
Yes. That one's a 2008 hit. And we lost that house and a lot of money on it.
Yes.
And
but that did turn out to be a plus in the long run.
It did.
We didn't think so at the time.
It is. We had a lot of crap, shall we say.
Oh, yeah. Remember, it was like that whole living room. We because we knew we were going to go to a smaller house.
Right.
So we just filled up the whole living room, and we had, who was it? It was like some thrift store or
Goodwill or something, yeah.
They came and got it, but they had to bring a U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
To get rid of all of our crap that we had.
Yeah.
And do you remember what was in that pile?
No. As I was making
Even years later, I didn't remember.
Oh, as I was making the pile, I'm like, why do we have all this stuff?
Right.
It was awful.
It was freeing, though.
It was.
I loved it. It was after, it was sad because I have to get rid of this crap because I don't have anywhere else to go. But with it, eventually we were like, God, this is it's like cleansing and freeing, and it was really nice to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, and we ended up having to rent a house, which was half the size, so we needed to get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
that was a cool house.
It was. It was an old house. It was just down the block from where my dad was born.
And it turned out it was from our old high school teacher.
Right. Yeah. So it was everything kind of worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great to simplify and just realize that stuff's not important.
Mm-hmm. We bounced back and forth though a little bit. We still kind of, because we were in a smaller house, we thought, we still bounced back and forth between doing credit and doing stuff like that, but we were starting to kind of realize that we needed to figure things out, but at that point we thought, I'm never retiring.
Right.
It's not happening.
Yeah. Because
we started too late.
Yeah. So then, what happened next?
Then we, in that house, because we lost the other house, we did a short sale on it. We then had to stay in that rental for, was it 4 or 5 years before we could
qualify for another. Yeah.
But it turns out that we became first-time buyers again. So that was a plus. And then we bought another house. And that's when we really started thinking, okay, we need a budget. We need to really buckle down and get rid of all this debt. I had student loans, credit card debt, high numbers. I won't go into the detail.
Right.
They were up there.
Yeah, just suffice it to say it was a lot.
It was a lot. And so we started a budget, and which we didn't want to do.
No, I think like most people, you think budget and you think, there we go, no more fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to stay home, eat cat food, and I can't do anything.
Rice and beans.
Yeah.
The whole Dave Ramsey kind of thing. We did start looking at that kind of stuff. I did read some of the Dave Ramsey stuff. I did start reading some of the other financial gurus.
There's good stuff in there.
See, yeah, good information. We kind of took bits and pieces from everything, started making a budget, started paying down the debt, and it turns out with the budget, we actually felt like we had more money.
Right. Yeah, the budget was awesome, really.
Yeah, that was a shocking surprise
Right.
in the long run.
Suddenly, when you know where your money's going and you can budget for things, and then it's like, wow, I can do that. I can pay cash for that. So it was eye opening.
So we were paying down our debt. We had the house, and it was a good payment. It wasn't anything that we couldn't afford, and we did everything except for investing.
Right.
We were doing we cherry picked from the different financial gurus what we liked, and then
It seemed like it was mostly just stuff for your day-to-day finances, though. We weren't really looking at the investing part.
we didn't think about the investing
Yeah.
part. I still at that point was thinking,
Well, and you had a 401k, and
yeah, but I picked and chose when I was going to put money in that, because I'm like, oh, well, I want this.
or we need to pay down this debt. So
We need to pay down this debt, so that we would do that. Do we do this? And so, but we ended up started to get that 401k going. That's when we bought the house out in the Dub,
The dub, yeah.
and we were in our 50s by now.
Yeah.
So
Old.
so old, right?
But again, once we moved from that rental to that new house, we still had lots of extra stuff.
Right. We did.
So we
didn't realize.
We did more simplifying, and got rid of more stuff.
Got serious about the
felt good.
budgeting, got serious about paying off debt. And that's when I started thinking, I can't be 90 years old and in the pharmacy with my walker going, hang on, I'm coming. I couldn't do it. So
5, 10,
where was
5.
right. So I didn't want to be there forever. I couldn't do it. So I started getting online and doing research and trying to figure out how was I going to retire, even if it meant I had to eat cat food. Let's see how we can do this. And that's when I got on and realized that you could actually retire without, I don't know what I want to say. You could actually retire by living abroad. Am I giving away too much?
Well, yeah, it's we started looking at other options. It's like either wait till you're 70 and let your life pass you by before you retire, or start thinking outside the box and like, okay, how can I bring in more money, or also how can I cut my living costs,
Right.
but still enjoy your life.
Yeah. We thought that house was going to be our forever home.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the town I was born in, and it was a beautiful town, lots of outdoor activities, and the problem is it was becoming very popular with people from other places that were moving there, and
Right.
yeah, it was changing, and our friends.
But we still thought that at that point, because we listened to some of the financial gurus, and it's still, they make you think that you can't retire until you're in your 70s, and
Or you have to have $4 million.
Right, and so we were still searching and trying to figure out what we were going to do and how we were going to get out of this.
Yeah.
And then
our friends came to us and said, hey, we were living in Oregon at the time, Central Oregon, Bend. Our friends came to us out of the blue and just said, hey, you guys ever think about moving? Like, do you want to move to Arkansas? And we're like, okay.
I also remember going, wait, where's Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't find it on a map, but sure, let's go there.
I knew it was in the South, and I knew
Yeah.
I knew it was there, and that was fun. But yeah, so we thought, why not?
Yeah. So we moved. And
Some major changes happened from there.
yeah, and we'll talk about that in the next video.
Right.
So we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Huevos Rancheros.